Good day, Ignatians! Welcome to Igniting Our Spirits. In this podcast, we will wander through the galaxy of contemplation and peace.
Together, we will meditate our way and bless our night to bring ourselves much closer to God. So, hello Penelope.
Hello, Grich!
Buckle up as we journey together in igniting our spirits.
So, for today's episode, we will talk about filtering our blessings.
Yes, Pen, but before we continue, let us first welcome our guest.
Oh, yes, the best way of achieving our opted goal is to have it with people who are able to help us achieve it.
Without further ado, help me welcome Athena Pan, Prince Waminal,
Together with Alexa Llorente and Stalin Baguio. Hey guys, welcome!
Hello.
Hello.
start. Let me ask you this question. What are the things or the blessings that you are grateful for today?
I am grateful for God's daily sufficient grace from the biggest and even to the smallest blessings.
If there's one of the most important realization that I would like to share, it is that happiness comes in different forms. Contrary to what people usually believe in, it doesn't have to be those big and overwhelming circumstances that come into our lives.
Sometimes it just has to be those sweet little things that we take for granted. Sometimes happiness is as peaceful as sipping your coffee in the morning, looking at the beautiful sunrise while thinking how contented you are in everything you have. Or it can be as simple as taking your first breath in the morning.
At times, it can also be grand, like achieving your dreams, or as scary at your first day of work. Regardless of what it is, as long as it fills your heart with gratitude, even for a simple moment, that's happiness. For happiness never comes in a single form, and often we fail to recognize little joys because we desperately look for those superficial things that we thought it will make us happy.
From what I have understood, given the chance to experience these blessings, I realize that God lets us encounter all of it for us to grow, develop, and help us be grateful of these gifts.
Exactly! It's as if we're in constant growth.
True, God is always with us in every endeavor, and He always guides us in every milestone that we take.
God let us experience the good in so many ways, but also let us encounter the bad things. It is for us to realize what really matters to us.
Yes, and speaking of the bad, the next question is actually connected to this.
Yes, indeed. The next question is that what are the things or the people you should detach yourself from?
Well, before coming to Christ, my own definition of freedom was very distorted. At that point, I still have not encountered the true meaning of freedom. As I started to grow closer to God, I have realized that rules are not one of the reasons why I feel so imprisoned in my whole life. Rather, I was feeling locked up due to my sinfulness.
Carrying a heavy weight of conscience is the same as being a prisoner. You may have achieved freedom in having the limitless to power to choose my own actions, but you are not feeling free internally.
This is the reason why most of us at this age have not felt peace because we are always looking for it in the wrong ways.
We are easily lured to believe that happiness is achieved with material things. We do not really realize that happiness should come from within, for it is already inside of us ever since.
By acknowledging the fact that I have to let go of this kind of mindset leads me to my second point. Sacrificing is definitely difficult. However, I have realized that it is essential for me to let go of the things that can hamper my growth and relationship with Christ. Examining my life was certainly an eye-opening experience that I should have already done a few years ago. To be able to discover that I have been prioritizing other things than God pushed me to surrender and give it up for Him.
Well, in my case, I detached myself from my unhealthy habits and hobbies. It felt like I had to choose between the things I love and giving time for God.
It may be a hard pill to swallow, but it can surely help us evaluate our lives and realize what really matters to us.
However, this does not mean that I should not take care of the gifts that He has given me. Indifference simply means that I should have the willingness to surrender everything for the greater glory of God.
Well, thank you guys for giving us such insightful sharing.
Now, I'm wondering where this conversation leads us. This is actually in view with the two mentioned values and principles.
Exactly, and these are namely creation and indifference.
Creation simply implies that we are always in progress. We are always guided by God, and that He never stops at helping us to be better versions of ourselves.
While indifference is the capacity to let go of what doesn't help me to love God or to love others, while staying engaged with what does.
So, speaking of these, in connection with the question that we asked in our class, what areas in your life can you apply or manifest these values, Penelope?
Well, I would spend some time with the things that bring me closer to God. I would set aside using social media and write devotionals to deepen my relationship with Him. How about you, Grich?
Well, that was so wonderful. And as for me, one thing that I would love to try is the thank you jar. So, this thank you jar is like each day I would drop a piece of paper with a date on it and then write the things that I am thankful for, even from the smallest things like a stranger complimented my art or it maybe my dog has his appetite for today. And at the end of the year, I will open that jar to look back on that days.
Aw, that's so cute. By the way, we're so grateful for our guests for they have shared amazing insights tonight. I mean, you could add these to your thank you jar, Grich.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Truly, this talk has helped ignite our spirits.
yeah,
Wow.
you're
Okay,
right.
so much for giving us the time and the chance to hear your thoughts, everyone.
So I guess this is where we end our conversation. Thank you very much, everyone. This has been Pen,
And Grits,
and thank you for listening to
night,
Igniting Our
our
Spirits.